Party people, what's good? It's the Big Boss Man Roundtable featuring your man, Woodshed 1914. I am the host of a lot of things, Blorange Tears, fresh off of having a crazy conversation with State of the New York Knicks podcast earlier today. And you are now watching the Big Boss Man Roundtable. I ain't gonna do all that stuff. I'm gonna get out of the way and let the big boss man cook. Big boss man, what's good with you?
What's going on, man? It's always good to be on the channel, man. The one place you can come and get that real, unfiltered Knicks talk, regardless of what show it is, you're gonna get real, unfiltered Knicks talk. So it's always refreshing to be
Them,
in the house, man.
them. Hey, just Knicks in the building. Jet Life for Life in the building. Yo, Heck is in the building. Heck, what's good, man? Yeah, man. I was watching Heck in them earlier, man. I was watching them earlier. I was like, this is like national TV right here. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Yeah,
good to see,
man.
man. Good to see. I just got one primary topic, man. That we don't tap dance around stuff here, man. We stomp on it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's a lot of debating, man, going back and forth, with most of it saying the same thing at the end, which is, oh, well, if the price is right. That's usually what it comes down to. Anytime the trade deadline is discussed, the question is if the price is right, right? That seems to be the main factor. Um, Now, I'm going to preface this by saying that I stood on here a year ago and I proclaimed the Knicks need to trade for OG Anunoby.
Right.
And that's because I got to give him credit. We may not like it, but as Austin Rivers said, the Knicks are built around their coach, right? So when you're built around your coach, who's 66, 67 now, shit, they ain't going to be coaching that much longer, bro. NBA coaches don't coach well into their 70s. So, they're going for it. But I say all that to say that instead of us saying, so much about whether the price is right, it should be more about whether the timing is right. If you look at your team, the best players on your team aren't even 30 yet. But these dudes are entering their prime, right? So the question that always comes up in my mind is how can we get to that point where we can get enough talent on this roster to overwhelm teams?
Right.
And I understand that the agenda that some people have is, oh, I want a long championship window, right? I want to be the Spurs. I want to be the Mavericks. I want to be the Lakers. When my reality is just get me one.
Right.
I've been alive across 5 different decades. I haven't seen one championship. So am I saying give up the form to get a DeJounte Murray? No, absolutely not.
I'm at farm. Farm. What farm?
But what I am saying is if I got to give up 2 or 3 of these picks, even if they're unprotected, I'm going to do it. Because as long as Randall and Brunson are on this team, your picks are not going to be that valuable. Point blank,
Right.
period.
Right.
Because those two alone getting you 42, 43 wins. Just those two. Even if they playing with a trash roster. Now, when you start adding the right components and pieces, you look at anywhere between 45 and possibly 50 wins. So, to be honest, it's not like it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, man, New York Knicks unprotected picks were the hottest thing on the block
Yes.
because they knew it was a 50 to 75% chance that pick was definitely going to be lottery and
Yeah.
probably in the top 7 or 8 at minimum. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we asked the question, how can we get a superstar? Those first round picks that we're going to have are not the answer. The answer to getting a superstar is to have as much roster talent as possible. If I'm trying to go out and get a Joel Embiid or Donovan Mitchell, Quentin Grimes and 3 unprotected picks that's going to be in the 20s are not going to help me do that. DeJounte Murray will help me do that. D'Angelo Russell and his contract and his resume will help me do that. So if the end goal is a superstar, we need to start acquiring as much roster talent as possible. Now, does that mean just grab anybody? No, but there are several players out there right now that can really help this team right away. Um, I see a lot of posts about Bruce Brown, and don't get me wrong, I like Bruce Brown. I like him, but I don't need a 6'3" Josh Hart. I don't. I got that archetype and I got that player already off the
Yeah,
bench with
but
Josh Hart.
he not Josh Hart though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Brown is more of a shorter Alec Burks. You know what I'm saying? Where he could, because you remember Bruce Brown played point guard at Miami with Lonnie
Yeah, I
Walker the
remember.
fourth.
I remember.
Yeah,
I
and
love his game.
Josh Hart ain't never. Hart can't even dribble, bro.
Well, Hart in a sense of
Another 6'4" guy, Swiss
right,
Army knife
Swiss
off the
Army
bench.
knife,
Yeah,
Thibodeau special. Yeah,
yeah,
like I mean, so yeah, I'm not accurate from saying similar games, but just that Swiss Army knife. Because don't get me wrong, Bruce can come in and help you at point guard. He
yep.
can help you at shooting guard. He can defend a lot of
He
threes.
can play the
So
three. He can play the four on
right,
offense.
right, right.
Yeah, yeah,
He's a good player.
right.
He's a really good player. But another name we talked about recently was Malcolm Brogdon. I'm not really as high on Brogdon anymore. I'm not. Um, man, I just don't know about the durability, bro. I just don't. I just don't. I've been watching a lot of him lately, and the offensive bag and the offensive game, the shooting is still there, man. He's still solid on defense, but he's not what he once was on defense. If that's the best they can do, then so be it. He can help us win this year, but if there's an opportunity to go out this year and to get a Zach Levine, a DeJounte Murray, and not have to give up a Brunson, a Randall, and an OG, to me, that gives the Knicks an opportunity to have enough talent to overwhelm teams. And then on top of that, you got more talent in the house to use in a trade, and you got more salary in house to use for a trade. The one thing I know for a fact that we probably will see, and I'm saying this because it's got to happen, right? You're gonna see Fournier get moved. Like
Yeah, you gotta see Fournier move, bro.
like I mean, if they keep this dude and then pick up the option in the summer, like the players association gonna get involved, bro. Like they're gonna get involved because they're gonna be saying, okay, you don't want the dude. You done said at press conferences he ain't a fit no more. The man then went over and spoke in two different languages and said, yeah, I can't wait to be traded in the summertime. And then you play on bench minutes and then you sit them for 67 out of 82 games. Don't trade him at the deadline. Pick up the option to do the same thing again. Nah,
Nah,
like
man,
so.
that's a criminal.
It, it, it,
That's
it
an
would
offense
be.
that's an offense that'll get you on a blacklist.
It will. It will. We're not talking like 20 years got this major clout in the NBA, but it just would be. It would be such a bad look to do that to a player, man, especially a player that could have went somewhere else and he's been a good soldier technically. He ain't been mouthing off. He ain't been spotting off about his role. He did say something in the summer, but now he seems to kind of be dealing with it. But that's the one thing that I certainly expect to see. Now there was another name that came up today that really has intrigued me for going back years, bro, and that's D'Angelo Russell. And that's because of what he would be able to bring to the Knicks off the bench and as a secondary point guard and playmaker. Because if they traded for him, he's immediately the best passer on the team.
Bim.
Like
Off
that's
the
what
rip.
I done.
He the
That's
best.
what I done.
If we trade for D'Angelo Russell, he is immediately the best playmaking person on the roster, period.
Right.
Not
So
not outside of shooting and all of that. I'm talking about make plays for himself and others, and at times
yes.
and be the best. Yo, it's been times where you saw D'Angelo Russell and he looked like the best player on any roster. You remember he
Yeah.
was the number 2 pick in the draft for a reason.
Yeah. He was. He was. And when you see him like the last 5 games, he's been magnificent. He's averaging like 27, 5, and 5. So we know a trade is coming with him because just I think it was last night, him and Rui Hachimura were basically crying on the bench in LA. So a trade is coming. But the rumor is Clutch Sports is trying to get him traded to the Bulls so that they can get Levine to LA.
Right.
Of course, D'Angelo Russell is CAA. So, there's going to be some pull with that. So now the rumor is, okay, the Lakers are talking to the Hawks about DeJounte Murray, but now they need a third team to take D'Angelo Russell. Would that not be a great opportunity for the Knicks? He got 1 year left on his contract, which is a player option after the season. And you get a playmaker. So your issues where the bench is just standing around looking at whichever one is in the game, whether it be Randall or Brunson, those days are over. You got somebody that can initiate, create plays, create shots for himself and teammates, and go off. You know what I'm saying? Like Quickly's gone, so now we don't even have a player on the bench that you can be like, oh man, that man can go off. You don't have that. When you get him, you have that. So it's just another opportunity, man, for the Knicks to get another talented 27-ish player to add to the roster. And in this avenue, if you're the third team, you're not having to throw in two first round picks. You're not having to throw in major assets. And then if Donovan Mitchell requests a trade this summer, his money pretty much matches identically. So all he has to do is pick up the option, which he probably will, because he's not getting $30 million for any other team, and you have an avenue to trade. So I think that the Knicks right now, man, they're in that cute stage of Eastern Conference contention where if they get the right matchup, they can go all the way to the conference finals. I feel good about them against pretty much any team except Boston. I even feel good about them against Milwaukee because Milwaukee is still somewhat of a jump shooting team. And if you have two bad shooting games in the 7-game series, it could be a wrap for you.
Could be a
But
wrap for you.
that Celtics team is the one team I look at. I'm like, man, like we just need one more guy, that we can count on to give us guaranteed production. And I think we'd be able to go out and compete with that team and possibly win a 7-game series. So
I
I
got
think
I got a guy, and he should be cheap.
who that?
Marcus Smart.
Oh, yeah, he should definitely be cheap. And
I have a second guy, and he should also be cheap.
who that?
Herb Jones.
I knew you were gonna say Herb. I saw yesterday that Herb Jones was on the trading block.
Yep. And
And
why he's not a Knick
man,
right
like
now, I have no idea.
listen, man, take Evan, take Grimes, get that done, man. Like get that done because they want to pay Trey Murphy. They can't keep all those guys. Bro.
Yeah,
They literally cannot.
and Najee Marshall was a baller too.
Yeah, they cannot keep all those guys. They got like 2 or 3 wings that are starting caliber players,
Yeah.
and you don't know if they can be all stars because it's just not enough, minutes and stuff to go around. But yeah, Herb Jones, bro, like it.
Yo,
I would give him.
you follow the SEC?
Yeah, absolutely,
I mean SEC basketball?
absolutely.
Bro,
Unfortunately, right now, but yeah,
you remember how that team used to smother Kentucky?
yeah, I remember that.
You
That
remember
that that Bama team was special, bro. They had length from the one position like all the way to the 5, bro.
all the way to the 5.
Yeah, but Herb Jones is the type of player that if you leave him open, he gonna kill you.
Yep.
If you put him in a position where he only got one job, which is defend your perimeter threats, he gonna shut that player down.
He gonna be. Can I ask you a question before you continue to elaborate?
Sure.
Is there a world where you can imagine Herb Jones guarding Jaylen Brown and OG Anunoby guarding Jason Tatum?
Say that one more time for me.
Is there a world where you can imagine Herb Jones guarding Jaylen Brown
I'm trying to picture in my mind.
and OG Anunoby guarding Jason Tatum. Now, here is where things get tricky because I can easily imagine it. But then when I add Marcus Smart in there guarding one of their backcourt players, I think we're NBA champs.
Listen, that would be tough. That'd be tough. And the reason a roster like that would be so special is because you go to your guys, which would be Brunson and Randall, and say, look, you got one job right now. That's to score. That's all you need to focus on. Score. Make the right play, Brunson, but score. So you take all the pressure off of your guys. But yeah, I saw that Herb Jones was on the block and looking at the salary cap situation. Yeah, they can't keep all those people. They literally cannot because good and well. I think it's the Benton family. I think they still own the Pelicans and they own the Saints. So they ain't spending that kind of money on the Pelicans.
No. And the irony is if you give them Fournier, that's more money than Herb Jones makes right now this year. And what he makes next year on that 4-year, $54 million deal.
Yeah. And then
that man makes what, 14 mil a year, 13 million, 13 and a half.
Yeah. And that's a situation where Evan would actually be able to play. Like he would actually get playing time on that team. So I mean, I was looking at the list of teams that are interested in Grimes. Of course, the Hawks was on there. You had the Rockets on there, and I kind of looked at their roster, and I'm like, man, like who we want? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I said, I said, okay, Tari Eason will be an excellent pickup from them.
Is Tari Eason from the SEC?
Absolutely, LSU.
Oh,
LSU. And I remember his game, and I remember on draft, and I said, look, this dude right here. When I watch him, I'm like, man, he looks so much like Gerald Wallace did, bro. Like,
right.
Like his hands are like the size of the basketball.
Right.
So I mean, he has scary potential. But I was looking, I said, okay, Tari Eason would be a good pickup. And I was kind of looking, and I'm like, the rest of the guys I see, they ain't going to trade.
No, they
now, Jay Sean Tate would be worth bringing in. Just my opinion.
You mean a Draymond type player?
Yeah, like, and people may kill me for this. Now, if Houston said, "Hey, look, we're trying to get off of Dylan Brooks," I would consider that. He actually shooting well this year.
Yeah,
but I mean, Tari Eason would be like a perfect, case scenario because it gives you that jumbo athlete that can really guard 4 positions. If teams go small, he can guard 5, and like you can't just leave him open. So the possibilities for this team are it's really endless. But the one thing I caution and tell people all the time, the longer they wait, the less value these picks have. Like, because if you look at the way the Knicks are playing ball, we're 9-2 in our last 11 games. People are going to look at our assets and say, man, the New York Knicks draft picks man, I need some players with this. But see, the problem is the consolidation has already started to take place. So the only player assets you have to trade are really Grimes, Fournier, and then McBride just got re-signed or extended, so he can't be traded. And outside of that, I know ain't nobody wanting to trade our Hart right now. Because what we gonna do? Run Sims at the 5? Jay Boogie said Mark Stein reworded and said New Orleans is not interested in taking calls on Herb Jones. Got it. I think Stein is trustworthy. So if Stein said it, man, we can kind of take it to the bank. So, just looking at it for what it is, I think that primary need right now, another bucket getter, somebody that can give Brunson a rest and let's not have a voided point guard. And that's no disrespect to Mosley Bryant, bro. No disrespect. He's playing his heart out, but This is what, his third year in the league, right? And he still doesn't really run the pick and roll effectively. So that's a huge issue when it comes to freelancing and making plays for your team. But I think the Knicks have to do something, man. We can't do what we did 2 years ago and be right there in a position to really take a step up and then just not do something. So, in my honest opinion, if Atlanta is just saying, "Look, we want two unprotected and we want Grimes," I'm probably doing that because when I go to make my quote unquote superstar move this summer, what's more valuable? Picks from 24 and 2026, they're going to be in the mid to late 20s, or a DeJounte Murray? Help me understand. I don't think it's any question.
Yeah, I'm
So
I'm just
that's
real quick.
that's what I'm doing.
Yo, I think we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled,
Mm,
led astray. Plymouth Rock didn't land. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us, bro.
mm.
You know what you sound like right now? Saying what you're saying right now? You are sounding like Woodshed from 2023. And you know what Woodshed from 2023 sounded like?
Oh God, Woodshed from
Woodshed from
2022.
2022. And
Yeah,
what I'm getting at is I think the Knicks tried to get the guy they want and they couldn't get him. And so now they are kicking the can down the road. I'm not
man.
here for it, bro. I'm not here for it.
Yeah,
I,
yeah. Not this year.
honestly, bro. Honestly, I'm not honestly. I don't want to hear nothing about the Knicks trading for a superstar this summer. Right? If the trade deadline comes and goes and the Knicks don't have a star, I'm considering that like you spit on my mama.
Yeah, I would be hot, bro. I would be pretty hot if you know. And you got dudes like Brown and DeRozan practically begging to come to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Begging,
Like
bro.
I'm saying, like what Bruce Brown did, bro. I've never seen that in sports. I've never seen that in sports, and I've been watching sports like since the early '80s.
You've been watching
I've
sports for
never seen
60
that.
years.
I've never seen that, bro.
Bro,
I've
I know
never
you've
seen
been
a
watching
player on another team getting paid by another team say, "Shoot, yeah, they coach love me." You know what I'm saying? I'm the perfect kind of player for their coach. I fit the scheme. I fit the system. I do whatever they ask me to do. And you wearing another jersey, bro.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
That
Not to
man,
that. Not to that degree.
yo, Bruce Brown legit wrote help on his eyelids.
Yeah.
Help, get me out of here. Y'all ever see anybody ever seen them crazy movies where a hostage will write help on their eyelids and they'll be blinking so the people can know that they need help? Yes, that's what Bruce Brown did in theory. He said, Knicks, come get me. But you know what that does, though, to you, Bruce Brown? That absolutely means you are getting traded to another team.
Yep.
Because I saw Kelly Oubre sit in a radio station in New York City and say I'm the perfect Knicks type player. What radio was it? It was like with Charlamagne the God in them, right? And the Asian girl, the Asian looking girl. You know what I'm saying? He up
Oh,
in
Angela Yee.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's sitting up there with them saying, yeah, man, I'm a free agent. You know, I'm rocking this orange and blue. The outfit just came together. I ain't trying to
Yeah,
send no
man.
signals or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yo, a team in New York need a small forward, a wing player, a defensive minded guy. I'm that guy. I'm built for this. Y'all know my reputation. I'm built for New. We heard him
Yep.
say that, bro. And you know what the
Yep.
Knicks did?
They went another direction.
The Knicks was like,
And
nah, we want Evan Fournier.
yeah. Oh my God, bro.
Bro.
Like, but
Bro, they went out and got Evan. They went all the way to France.
I mean,
It
I
was a
just
dude in New York City on the radio.
saying
He
I'm
on
right
the
here.
radio in New York with orange and blue on. Like, yeah, I'm available. And they like, okay, we'll be back. They took a flight out the country to watch a dude play against Kevin. Come on, bro.
Yeah, we got to stop using the FIBA tournament, man, and the Olympic tournaments like to scout players. Like I I bought into the Rokas Jokovitis hype, bro, for like a split second, but I don't think he's coming over because it's crazy because he could come over and help as a backup point guard, but he was just so bad in summer league, bro. Like I
Yeah.
mean, it was unbelievably bad. I'm like, dude, you've been playing professionally since you were like 15, bro.
Yeah.
And you look like the
I think
worst player in summer, not on the Knicks summer league team. You look like the worst player in summer league.
period.
Like the worst player in the whole summer league. And we used a pick on this dude when this dude's just starting right now in the NBA in rotations that we could have got.
Yeah. Herb Jones.
Herb Jones being one.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, let's be real. Like, I don't value these draft picks because, and this is not just Leon Rose and his crew. This goes back. You know,
Mm.
like if we go back from 1985, bro, and just look at the picks that we made, what players were available, and then factor in team needs, when we make the pick, it just doesn't make sense. So, like, I trust the Knicks to make the right pick probably about 30% of the time, bro. So, looking at that, that's one of the main reasons I don't value the draft picks that we do have. That's going to stop me from getting on talent. Second reason is the Knicks are a good team. So, you know, like, if you look at what we're negotiating with right now, which is first that are going to be later, because this team is, it would shock me, like it would legitimately shock me if this Knicks team doesn't win 50 games.
Yeah, we got 50 in the bag.
Like it would take something catastrophic for us not to win at least 50 games, and that'll be the first time we won 50 games since like 2013, bro.
Right.
Almost 12 years. So.
Right.
When you look at it like that, the best, and we need to be trying to get this talent in here, man. And it really needs to be another guard, just being honest, because of how the team is set up. Because when Brunson goes to the bench, I'm looking like, man, like, who gonna run the show? Who gonna get other people involved? Who gonna create a
The
bucket
backup
for their
DJ
team?
is whack. I ain't gonna
Like,
lie to you. I backup DJ is whack, bro. You know
man,
what I'm saying?
like
I back up
we need
DJ
somebody.
legit.
Like to me, I'm telling you. And then keep in mind, D'Angelo Russell is CAA. So, you know, I mean, he's CAA. You know, he's played in New York before. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would have an issue coming off the bench. I think it'd be more so
who
about
was that? You said wouldn't have an issue coming off the bench?
D'Angelo Russell. I
Oh
don't
man,
think he would have an issue coming off the bench.
no. Well, let's not do that, bro. There's no way D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench for Dante
DiVincenzo?
DiVincenzo, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
Nah,
with
bro.
you.
Ain't no.
Yeah,
There's no
I'm
unless Russell's defense is so bad
yeah,
that you know what I'm saying, you gotta
I'm with
nah
you.
man, that man ain't coming off the bench for
Yeah,
Dante. Dante
I'm with you.
nah,
Yeah,
not Dante, bro. Not Dante.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Um, I mean, hey, and that's why I keep saying like I'm not trying to isolate or pick on Dante DiVincenzo by any means, but when I look at that two spot, and yes, he's shooting well, and I think Dante DiVincenzo is one of the most underrated athletes in the entire association, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's not just that he has hops; he's quick, he can change directions, he's
yeah.
actually really strong for his size. He's got that wiry strength, and he can get up off the floor quick.
Yeah, he
Like
the ginger mamba, bro. That's the ginger mamba.
yeah, he is. But the thing about Dante though, I don't know if I'm getting from 11 from three or 1 from 7 from three. You know, I just don't know. And
Right.
it's hard when you have players that have success to those extremes. You know, like it's either great or great. Ugh. But
It's-
I agree with you. from a talent perspective, it would be hard to justify. Because I mean, to be honest, it was kind of hard to justify with Quickly to a degree. It'd
Yeah.
be hard for me to justify saying, okay, I'm gonna bring in D'Angelo Russell, a dude that's only 27, a dude that's been an all-star, a dude that's immediately the best playmaker and passer on the team, a dude that's proven he can make clutch
That's
shots
good.
in
That's
the
good
regular
friends
season, in
with
the playoffs.
Randall. That's really
And has
good
has
Randall.
chemistry with not just Julius, but Julius and Josh. He's played with both of them in the league before. It would be hard for me to justify saying, hey, I'm gonna put this guy on the bench. It would be hard for me to do that.
Right.
It would be. It would be very hard for me to do that because you're talking about, and everybody's gonna say, "Oh, well, the defense." Man, listen, you can give Tom Thibodeau 15 cadavers, bro, with no pulse, no brain activity. They're gonna have a good defensive team.
Yep.
Now, as long as the players are willing to try, the Knicks are gonna have a solid defensive team.
Of
Now, if we
course.
got players that aren't willing to even try, then yeah, we're not going to have a good defensive team, and that goes without being said. But as long as we got paid professionals that are willing to try, we're going to be solid. But when Tibbs made that comment the other day, it lifted my eyebrows because Tibbs said OG is kind of a defense all to himself. And I said, damn, Tibbs said this dude is a defensive system.
Yeah.
That's how good he is on that side of the ball. This dude is a defensive system.
Yeah.
I mean, and outside of Kawhi, I got to go back to probably, man, I don't want to say Scottie Pippen. I'm trying to find somebody between Kawhi and Scottie
How
Pippen.
about Ben Simmons before injuries? Ben Simmons was that good.
He was great. He was great on defense.
Yeah,
He was absolutely great on defense.
Ben Simmons before the mental before all this stuff, Ben Simmons was Scottie Pippen-esque.
Yeah, okay. I'll throw Ben in there because he was great on defense before. Like the process, man. Like let's be honest, the Philly process broke a lot of players, bro.
Yeah,
not just Ben Simmons. Michael Carter Williams got broken by the process. Drew Holiday damn near got broken by the process. Like they broke a lot of players.
Lou Williams,
like come on, a lot of players, bro. So I mean, that kind of goes without being said. But I give you Ben.
They tried. Yo, you can't. Yo, tanking, bro. Tanking is not a good thing, bro. When you tank, when you tank, you stank. You have that thing all over you, bro. You're not gonna ever. You can't get that. It takes too long to get that stank off you.
And you know what? Just to kind of wrap up that point, I really, outside of Kawhi and Ben, I haven't seen a guy on defense. I got to go back to Pippen after that. That like, if you go back and just review the film and think on the defensive end, what should be done here? 99.9% of the time, OG's gonna make the right play.
Right.
Or if he makes a false step in the wrong direction, he's got the explosiveness to recover and still make the right play. Like it was just crazy. Dude came over, flashed towards the 3-point line, and came over and blocked the 6'10" center in Jonte Porter. That's not normal. Like this stuff. Like we got some good guys. Like Jimmy Butler's a great defender. Paul George is a great defender. But what this dude is doing on defense is Kawhi level.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just hoping that it clicks for him soon. Dude, it's okay if you shoot 15 times.
Yeah, that's not his. That's not his MO.
If you 6 for 10 shooting, it's okay if you put up 20 shots. Yeah. But that's gonna come. The only way that's gonna happen is if Thibodeau gets through to him.
Right.
That's a Thibodeau thing. But defensively, I'm talking between him and Scottie Pippen, only Simmons and Kawhi have been on that level in terms of wing. There's been some great wing defenders in the league, but only those two guys, bro.
Yeah.
In
recent memory, yeah.
But between them in the late 90s, but I mean, the dude defends centers.
Yeah.
We played Philly. He got on Embiid, couldn't do nothing with him. We played Minnesota. He defended Cat, couldn't do nothing with him. Came back, defended Anthony Edwards, couldn't do nothing with him.
Right.
Mike Conley switched off, couldn't do nothing with him. So I'm not worried about, plugging in a scoring guard into the starting lineup and saying, oh man, because the gap between the offense of a DiVincenzo and a D'Lo it's a wide gap, bro. It's a
Yeah, in
wide
terms
gap.
of talent. Yeah, in terms of talent, man. Yeah.
So, defense wise, I'm not saying, okay, I put it this way. I'm going to add more offense than I am going to lose defense. So, I kind of retract that to a degree. If they were able to get him, which is possible because he is CAA, anytime there's a CAA talent on the move, you got to be on the lookout. So, and if I'm him and I'm getting traded, man, yeah, give me to New York. I don't go to Atlanta.
Yeah, D'Lo.
I don't want to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me to New York. So they got to do something, bro. They got to do something. We can't sit.
So what do you? What is it exactly that you are asking them to do?
I want them to acquire talent, even if that talent is moved in the trade this summer. I don't want to hear them stand pat and say, "Oh, well, we decided to keep our assets and go for it."
So you're buying into the kick the can down the road methodology, then?
No, I'm buying into get the biggest, baddest joker you can get right now, so that the kick the can possibility is possible. Because I'm saying, Freezie, if we go into the summer, bro, you won't have Evan Fournier's money. Because I can't fathom them saying, okay, we're gonna bench you for 2 straight years. We're not gonna move you at the deadline after you requested a trade, and we're gonna pick up your eye. Like,
come on, that's jail. That's
you can't do that. So you don't have that money to use in a trade, and then you sitting there with picks. You got the 27th pick in the draft. You got protected picks, and you got your own picks, which is going to be anywhere between 24 and 30.
Yeah.
Like the assets are only going to get worse. But if I have a D'Angelo Russell on my team, if I have a Zach LaVine on my team, if I have a DeJounte Murray on my team, and then I'm going superstar hunting, okay, now I got some players, or I got a talent that I can use to get that player. Right now, as is, if we take this into the offseason and we have Fournier's money's gone. Either they're going to trade away now, or they're going to decline it and let him walk. Which to me, letting him walk would be malpractice. I don't see any scenario where they pick that option up.
And you know what would be even worse than letting him walk? Buying him out after the trade deadline.
Oh God.
I would fire, man. I would fire everybody. Nobody's badge would be working if they did that.
Yeah. That would be that means you basically gave him a $78 million vacation. All expense paid, 36 months, $78 million vacation in New York City.
Right.
That's basically what you did. And you let them take your 3-point record out the door with you. Like that would be malpractice, bro. But here's what I'm saying. If they take this roster as is into the summer, minus Evans 18, close to $19 million to use in a trade, it ain't enough draft picks in the world they can use to facilitate a Mitchell trade. Not only that, it's going to be hard to make it work money-wise. That's why they keep looking at these players like Bruce Brown that make 20 million, 19 million. They're looking at those players because you gotta have money on the books to trade. Because we over the cap no matter how you slice it. We over that cap. Then you got extensions for Brunson and Randall coming down the pipe.
We're not gonna be over, man, because once OG Anunoby and Hartenstein become free agents, we'll be under the cap. But the thing about it is, we'll have to go over the cap to re-sign them.
Right.
That's the issue. You know what I'm saying?
And you got bird rights on OG because he only played for one team. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't even want to talk about his contract situation. He got to be a Knick. If he ain't a Knick next year, Leon should be fired. Period.
Yep.
But that's neither here nor there. But you got to have salary on, like, for example, we get to the end of the season. Donovan Mitchell say, "Look, man, we got kicked out in the first round, and we played the doggone Pacers. I want out of here. Y'all got to get me out of here. I got 1 year left on this deal. I'm declining the option. You can trade me now, or I can just walk. It's up to y'all." We got to have the pieces to make it work. You got to have the money, and you got to have the pieces to make it work.
Right.
And, it's hard for me to see them having the money contractually to make it work because you ain't trading Brunson.
Okay.
I will say this. If Julius Randle takes a playoff vacation, he getting traded.
Okay.
So there is a possibility that you'll have a huge salary to throw at another team. But to me, I think it would be so much easier to contend this season, contend in the future, and be positioned to get a superstar if we bragging about the players on our roster as opposed to the picks we got. Right now, we bragging on the picks and the flexible contract. And if we bragging on, look, man, we got a backcourt of Jalen Brunson and DeJounte Murray. We got OG Anunoby and Julius Randle at the 3 and the 4. We got Isaiah Hartenstein, who's looking like an all-star caliber center at the 5. We got Mitchell Robinson, who looked like a defensive player of the year type guy coming off the bench. At that point, you got some players to move.
Right.
Because if a star comes available, and I'm saying, look, man, first thing I'm offering you on the table right now is I got DeJounte Murray and I got Mitchell Robinson for you right there.
Yeah.
I got one good player and one great defender right there for you. Now we talking. But I don't see a realistic scenario where they don't bring in talent. And I'm not talking about just a Bruce Brown. I'm talking about major talent and get to the end goal. What the end goal is, they want to try to, well, they tell us they want to try to get a superstar. So it's kind of, I don't, it sounds like kick the can, but I would phrase it as keep the dream alive. Because if you got talent on the roster, the dream is still alive. If you don't have talent on the roster to move, the dream ain't alive, bro. And Quentin Grimes want out of here. That's the funny thing. He want out of here.
Yeah. And listen, if you want to be out of here, bye. I can't blame him for being disgruntled. Right. I don't want to, point the finger in his face. Right. But if he want to be out of here, man, accommodate.
Yeah. I think and Leon will do right by him.
But you know what though? I would, I never question what you say or what I see you say on Twitter because I know it's all thought out. Right now, though, I think you caught up in the moment, bro. Yeah, I've been knowing this man for 8 years strong. 8 years. There was a point that I was tweeting at this man about 20 times every day at one point, right? What I'm telling you right now is that I think my man is caught up in the moment. I don't think he understands where the Knicks front office is headed. I think the Knicks are telling you that they already made their major move when they traded for OG Anunoby. And they don't feel compelled to pay or overpay for anyone. Right? I think they have their prices set. And if you come over that price by 1 penny, they hanging up the phone.
Man, that's a sad truth.
And the thing about it is they can easily recycle the narrative of, well, okay, the guy they wanted wasn't available at the trade deadline, so they're gonna kick the can down the road and chase that star during the summertime. Now, tell me if you heard that before. Now,
every summer
have heard that every summer since they've been here.
Summer. It was Chris Paul the first summer. Like every summer, Chris Paul the first summer, Devin Booker the next summer, Donovan Mitchell that next summer, and then this summer, like they already talked, like Embiid's not leaving, bro.
Embiid ain't going nowhere.
He's not leaving. Like, it don't make sense. He ain't leaving. They'll kick everybody else out before he leave. They got Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey is not sitting that dude down 95.
What team trades the MVP in their prime?
Nobody. It doesn't. They change everything in their organization from GMs, presidents to front office staff to coaches to role players to residual stars before they trade an MVP.
Right.
It just it's not going to happen. Like that's a pipe dream that just needs to die.
Yep. And please don't tell me that you've been saving up 8 draft picks and such and such and such for Karl Anthony Towns. Because if that's the move, you could have did that 3 years ago.
Should have did it off the rap. It should have did it off the rip. And that's what kind of triggers me to a degree with the Donovan Mitchell deal. Because if you trade for him this summer and you extend him, instead of getting him at the top of his prime at $30 million, you're going to get him towards the back end of his prime. You're going to be paying him $60 million.
$62 million.
So instead of getting Donovan Mitchell at his best at 30 plus, you're going to get him towards the back end of his prime at $60 million a year. So, and you know me, our young players would have already been in Salt Lake City if it was up to me. You know, I would have paid for an Uber to get their asses all the way to Salt Lake City. But that's over with. But to make the move for him now, don't get me wrong, I think he would help put us right there in the championship discussion. But to me, it would just kind of be hilarious because, okay, you didn't want to give up the assets to get him. You've exhausted the assets that were needed to get him. And then on top of that, instead of paying him $30 million, you pay him $60 million. Not only that, you paying him I said a good chunk of his game is being able to elevate and score over the top of people. And you're going to be paying him all the way to he's 32, 33 years old, $60 million.
Yeah. But and you know what so I want to throw eggs at the bus, so to speak, right? So I want to throw toilet tissue at the neighbor's house, right? By saying this. Not only that, bro, Josh Hart's contract going forward.
Oh my God.
Is an albatross, not because he's a bad player, but because he's an energy player with bad knees. Right? Josh Hart came out this week and said his knees are acting up on him, and he's telling you this before his extension kicks in.
He's gonna be 29 this year.
Right, he's 29 right now. 29. Right? Yeah. Yeah, so
he either just turned 29 or he's about to turn 29.
Yeah, so what I'm saying to you is the Knicks are gonna have a 31-year-old undersized power forward with bad knees taking up 15% of their salary cap because their homeboy plays for them. And that 15% of the salary cap, and it may be less, and by the time he get that age, it'll probably be more like 12%, right? But you're gonna have a energy guy that can't play long minutes, right? Because think about it. So we're gonna have basically a Jerome Kersey on our bench that can't play.
Oh, man,
we're gonna have a drier too long Jerome Kersey on our bench. Y'all know what I mean by dryer too long. You know how you leave your shirt in the dryer too long and then you get it and you like, yo, man, dryer done shrunk this shirt. No, bro, you got to stop enjoying Taco Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, man. God.
And then so we're going to have that. We're going to have that. And then the front office is still going to be trying to trade for a star. But how can you trade for a star that right now is admitting that he has Penny Hardaway knees?
Yeah, when I saw him say that, I was like, oh my God, like that's not good, bro.
No, people don't lie, bro. People don't be lying, bro. They be telling you the truth.
Yeah, that's not good.
This dude got
and we like Josh Hart. We just keeping it real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, think about what Josh Hart's getting paid as opposed to what Kelly Oubre is getting paid. You're talking about 20 million versus what, 6 or 7, 8 million?
Right.
Well, come on, man. But I remember you, me, and maybe a handful of other people were pulling our hair out when the Knicks said they don't want to extend Paul George this summer. They wouldn't want to extend him.
Right.
And then they put 35 million into Harden DiVincenzo. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I want to say it was you, me, and maybe two of the other people were like, this just don't make sense.
No, it just don't. It
It,
just
it,
don't.
it just don't make sense. You don't want to do this a bona fide all-star two-way player.
Right.
You don't want him, but we're gonna sink 35 million a year into
You
him.
don't want 2 great years and 2 so-so years of Paul George. You would prefer 4 so-so years of 3 dudes. Because these
Yeah,
dudes, no matter how great they look, they will never be Paul George, bro.
never,
Ever.
never, man, never, ever, never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever. Julius Randle went out there on one ankle to recruit PG-13, bro.
Bro, it's bizarre, bro. It's bizarre.
But I think what I fear is, like you said, man, I am caught up in the moment thinking that they're going to do something, but history tells you that the trade deadline is not an active time for the Knicks. The OG trade shocked me because you don't really even see big trades like that in December.
Nah.
You rarely even see that, but history has shown they're not going to make a move.
Yeah, the
Even,
Knicks always
if
make their move. This regime makes their move. When OG was traded, it's around the same week of the year every year. I mean, if you remember, the Cam Reddish trade was around the
yeah,
same time of the year,
forgot
early
about that.
early January. The Denzel Valentine, remember Denzel Valentine trade?
I
Yeah,
remember
remember?
that.
No. Yeah, remember we traded for Denzel Valentine. Yeah. The oh god, they did a trade. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember the trade, but it was when they first got here. They made a trade in that January. It wasn't Vincent Poirier and them. Vincent Poirier and them was traded at the trade deadline.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there was another trade before that. I can't remember, but yeah, but they're busy though. This front office, they're busy. You can't say that they don't trade. You can't say they don't trade in the winter. They definitely need to do that.
So I'm telling you, if the Knicks were able to add DeJounte Murray to this core of players, bring Brunson, Randall, and OG,
Yeah.
I'd be willing to put my orange and blue hat on, bro, and say,
Right.
look, we going to the final for sure.
Yeah.
I'd be saying we going to the final for sure. Like it would be no doubt in my mind that we're going to the finals. No doubt in my mind.
Right.
But I don't think they're gonna do it. Like you said, we already hearing rumors about the Knicks don't want to pay the price and this. And I'm like, look, this player, this talented player who's already been an all-star, already been an all NBA defender, he fits the age and time out of your core perfectly. Perfectly.
Tooney got it mentioned. It was the Derrick Rose trade. Hey, appreciate that. Hey, Tooney hit it on the nail, man.
Sure
Yo,
was, sure
the
was.
chat be so smart, man. Y'all be on it, bro. Yeah, that's the one, the Derrick Rose trade. Yeah.
D Rose. I'll never forget
Wood,
that trade.
what are we gonna do that? Wood, if they say we're gonna chase the all-star this summer, what do you say to them?
Pipe dreaming. Because my question is gonna be with what? What we trading for?
Yeah.
I mean, these picks ain't gonna be that valuable. What we trading for? We trading Brunson? We trading Randall? We doing the sign and trade with OG?
Right.
Mitch got to be in the deal, especially if Fournier is gone. Mitch has to be in the deal, and his contract is extended, so you only get 12 million for that. What the other 25 million coming from? What you gonna trade for him with?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Hey, and Wood, but here's the kicker. The Knicks have 2 draft picks this year, right? That they have to use.
Yep.
The Dallas pick and their own pick, right? So if they use those 2 picks, right? Now you're down a pick in the future because now the 2029 pick is on the clock. Right? Or I'm
Yep.
sorry, I think they kicked it out to 7 years. So the 2031 pick is on the clock. But 2 minus 1 is 1. So if you use 2 this year and that one becomes available, now you have less assets to use.
Yep.
Unless the 2 players that you draft are bona
They
fide
got to be
blue.
stars.
Yeah.
They got to be stars, bro.
Yeah.
They got to be, Keegan Murray types. Like, they got to be stars, bro. They got to be stars because that's the only way using those picks would make sense, bro. Like, I said when they traded for all those dang on draft picks, I said if we use those picks to draft, something went terribly wrong.
Something went terribly wrong.
I mean, it's like if we draft 2 rookies in 2024, something went wrong.
Yep.
Something went terribly wrong.
Yep.
And we going backwards. If we add rookies to this team and expect them to come in and contribute and play major minutes, we're going backwards, bro. Something went terribly wrong. But I hope in the next 3 weeks that Leon Rose breaks the mold, comes through at the deadline, and that we looking at a lineup of Brunson, Murray. And you know what's funny to me? Atlanta's taught they were even willing to throw in Capella. That's your salary filler right there for a superstar
salary filler right there.
Because he got 22 mil. That's your salary filler right there.
Yeah.
The question is, do you want the opportunity to go after a superstar, or do you want Isaiah Hartenstein more? Which one do you want more? Which one is more important?
Hey, boss,
Which one is more important?
It's a paradox wrapped in a conundrum, wrapped in a puzzle, wrapped in a query. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, but think about it though. Is Brunson, Murray, OG, Randall, and Capella? That's a chip squad to me. I think.
You mean keeping everything in place outside of them, right?
Outside,
like all things considered, adding those 2 to this team and our mojo right now, that gives us the chip.
I think so.
Okay. I think Grimes for Tari Eason gets us closer, and I also think biting the bullet and doing a draft pick trade with Golden State for Chris Paul gets us there. I think because Chris Paul has this year and next year. I think
that salary is a weapon. That Chris Paul salary is indeed a weapon to use.
Yes.
That's for sure.
So you read my mind. You read my mind.
Yeah. Because you have to think about it in layers. If they want to acquire a star, because free agency is not an option. It's not an option. If you want to acquire a star via trade, you got to have money on the books. That's why I keep saying people turn their nose up. Oh, Zach LaVine makes $40 million. He gives you the money on the books to make the trade.
I got one. I have a trade. I think it just makes the most sense of anything, right? Of anything we got, right? The Knicks trade Quentin Grimes for Lonzo Ball.
Well,
you know you know why that makes sense, right? That makes sense because if you trade Grimes and or whatever salary you don't want to have, right? In theory, you can use Lonzo Ball's salary and Evan Fournier's salary and go get a $40 million player.
Yeah.
And the reason why a team would do that is because it's like the shadow thing, right?
They're scared of the apron, man. Their team is scared of the apron.
But it's not about the leg injury, bro. It's about the insurance. So even if you do, so you're gonna get Lonzo Ball's $22 million salary, but you're only gonna pay $3 million. And here's why. Y'all remember when Mitch was declared out for the year and the Knicks put in for the injury insurance thing? And the NBA declined it? Well, the NBA can't decline Lonzo's thing. That's already in place. So you trade for the 20, you're only paying 3 of it. And so when you want to move the salary again in the big deal, say Donovan Mitchell, You offer Cleveland Lonzo Ball's contract, right? It's 20 something on the books. Cleveland is only responsible for 3 million of it.
Mm.
So even
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball being out with injury has an attractive contract. And Evan Fournier, who is not playing, has an attractive contract. Right? You put those two together, that's $40 million.
And you know what? That's another creative way. But I look at the front office, and we can only go by the rumors. We can tell they're trying to acquire guys with significant money on short-term deals,
Yeah.
but they're also trying to acquire guys that fit the team. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be pretty difficult to do because you're going to have to make a decision. Are you prioritizing helping this team win? Because we can catch any team in the East slipping and win that series.
Yeah.
Now, whether we can beat a Denver, I don't know. Whether we can beat Minnesota in a 7-game series, I don't know. But
Okay.
to give yourselves an opportunity to be in that position, you got players begging to come to New York now. If you get that far, you'll have superstars saying, "Hey, I want to go over there."
Right.
If Devin Booker loses in 6 games in the semifinals and the Knicks made the conference finals, how would he not want? I want to go over there. So
Yeah,
you have to position yourself.
I don't know, bro. I don't know if we want to play that game though. You know what I'm saying? Because we play that game every summer, right? We play that game every summer. Oh, KD and Kyrie, they got to come here. They want their own team. They tired of riding LeBron and that was Steph Curry team, man. You know, blah blah blah, blah, blah. And then they go wherever they want. Nah, man. Leon, man. Leon.
Yeah, let's do something.
Do something, bro.
Yeah, let's do something, man.
Go get a guy, man. Stop leaning on the trade wins and all that stuff, man, and blah blah blah. Nah, man. If you like what you see, go get it.
Yeah, let's do something.
Yeah. It's like that
But
Heavy D song. When Heavy D said, I like what I see and I want some. Go get it.
yeah, go do something, man. Go do something. And I think if the fans feel like you're trying and you end up having to, okay, we're gonna bring in Malcolm Brogdon, price is too high. I don't think the fans will be mad.
Right.
But if your result is, we're gonna buy out Evan Fournier so he can go play, fans will be furious.
Yo, they fired on the spot, bro.
They'll be furious with that. But man, look, it's been a blessing chopping it up, bro. The thing I like most about this platform is we don't always have to agree, man. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's the most important part when you having conversations is that you conversing with somebody that's willing to say, look, I don't agree with that. I don't necessarily think that's right. That's what takes conversation to another level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping that Leon sees this as a golden opportunity to say, look, if we can add a guy, and the only thing we really giving up is some draft picks, Quentin Grimes and Evan Fournier's money,
right?
And we can add a guy like a Russell or a Murray or a Levine, I'm hoping he gets it done, man. I'm hoping he gets it done. I don't want to rely on, we're going to wait till the summertime to trade for Donovan Mitchell because of the money. It becomes so hard to do, bro.
Bro, that might be. Bro, it looks like, and listen, I talk a lot, bro, but I don't mince words, bro. It looks like to me that they kicking the can down the road, bro. That's what it looked like, man. And they will kick the can down the road. Remember, they had the 19 pick. They had the number 19 pick where they could have took Cam Thomas.
Crazy.
And it was like, nah, we ain't gonna take Cam Thomas.
That was crazy.
Yeah. They had the 19 pick.
That was crazy.
Yeah, they could. Yeah. They had all them picks, and they decided to kick the can down the road. And then come to find out, all the dudes they took, none of them are NBA players.
None of them, bro. Not a one of them.
Yeah, man. So, but anyways, thank y'all for watching, man. We'll be back on tonight, man. I think it's gonna be stacked full house. I think that's going to be the modus operandi for until the trade deadline. That it's going to be full house for the next 16 days until the trade deadline. Talking that talk the way that y'all like to have that talk to y'all. Man, I'm your main man, the number one chief rocker, Uncle Freezie. If this is your first time watching, click the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, hit the like button, and come back and rock with us. And this guy in here is the big boss man, Woodshed 1914. You can find him on social media at Woodshed _ 1914. Wood, you got anything to say before we get out of here and go eat dinner?
Man, just the usual, bro. Just always remember, respect each other's opinions. It's okay to disagree. Don't waste time arguing. And remember, we all want the same thing. Most of us haven't been alive long enough to see a Knicks championship. We all want the same thing. Don't lose sight of that.
Don't lose sight of that, y'all. We out of here, party people. Peace, everybody.